to see him, where he's evolved and bringing this door into play, just from some cabinet doors, come up with this system that turns this, door, very genius, without a doubt.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Ohio Painting Company podcast. And it looks like we're going 3 wide in Dayton over there, which is awesome to see. Kevin Sillaman, Nick Goebel, and Davonna Sillaman at the Ohio Painting Company headquarters in Dayton, Miamisburg, Springfield, whatever you want to call it. It's all over there.
Bro.
Yeah, Springboro. Where's Springfield? That's on the way, or is that somewhere else?
That's where Dave lives.
Oh, okay. Very good.
That's north. Yeah.
All right. Good stuff. Won't make the mistake again, but we have quite a bit to recap from last week, as a matter of fact, and we are actually doing this episode a day prior to its release. So it's March 6th right now. It's March 7th for you, and if you're watching it deeper into the future, just know that we are recapping something that Kevin and Davonna caught last week down in Florida. So this is your crowd down there, right? For PCA, which is explain to me, paint something America
Association.
Got it. And I mean, these are all the people that are in your wheelhouse, and you're in their wheelhouse. So, I mean, after a flight down there, let's recap a little bit of PCA itself and tell us about your first time.
Go ahead.
You don't want to go first?
No. I'll let you get all the good stuff in.
Oh, okay. It was our people. It was a good expo. You have breakout sessions, you have main sessions. They feed you. But it is all about paint, which you would never think that there would be like this. I mean,
monstrosity.
Yeah, that there would be like 1,000 people in the room on the same, about the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that same thing being paint, I guess, is the main thing, because you just wouldn't expect that. But lots of good learning from big painting companies, and yet painting companies the same size as us, and where we're at. So, and just the professional end of it, and just hearing the same things that we're doing. So anyway.
And being able to actually talk to people that understand what you're talking about. I mean, I've gotten way better at it over the last couple of years with working with you. But I mean, just being able to start rattling off certain specific things that only a painter would say. It's good to talk to somebody that can reflect some of that, reciprocate some of that experience back on you, and you just know what they're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Such as the pain point of getting somebody's colors or being blamed for things that you didn't do because it's paint on the sidewalk, but it's been there for 10 years, not fresh and new.
We're not the only ones that have to deal with that. Yeah.
So anyway,
we did get to talk to a girl out in California, just starting her painting career over the past year or so. And she said that she would, when she edges in, and I immediately corrected her and said, you mean when you cut in? She's like, yes, I know what it is, kind of frustrated, but you could just, so you had every variety there,
Right.
A lot smaller than us. And like Davonna said, bigger and the same size. We're pretty small in comparison to, I mean, these guys are, these are some like we said, monstrosities earlier that, man, they're something else. Got to see a lot of the paint line, which the paint line is somebody that we've got a little interview with, I guess we'll get to. But that's a very inventive guy, another guy that invented some smelly stuff, for the paint. And then even came out with another genius idea that you would never even think of stripping paint. But this is a totally bio or environmentally safe product that even if you get it on you, even though they're not supposed to burn you, they do. Apparently this one doesn't. And it does a really good job of stripping too. So
yeah.
Yeah, that interview was pretty interesting. This guy, and one of the main parts, the main focus that we're going to put with this guy is the fact that once he created this, it kind of created a domino effect for multiple other products that he created or perfected and made it available to painting contractors just like you, because it's just the simplest thing. And that's the first question that you asked, Kevin, to this gentleman, was talk about that simplicity in creating a product. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It doesn't have to be this enormous, expensive piece of equipment, which I'm sure that there's a decent sized price tag on it, but you're paying for what, ever quality you're going to get. And this guy seems like a pretty straight shooter. So
Right on.
what, talk about seeing him for the first time, because you noticed that he was, kind of big on social media, correct?
Well, this particular product that he has is advertised by Paint Life, and he was very early into the game for sure on social media, so he's really got a large presence. I'm going to leave everything. I'm not putting anything on the table. I'm just going to say that I started my conversation with him about about the Paint Life guy, and how he's just all over the place. And it was, really good that he's got the advertisement going out there. And that just led to, more conversations. And then, well, like you said, we did the interview with him. And then, even when we got back yesterday, I ordered, 3 or 4 different products from them. And, one was this door, sprayer that we're going to get to. And then, we bought the cabinet door little kit, which is, I say little kit, but like you said, there's a price tag on everything. We did get a nice little discount at 20% off because we were at the PCA. So I think that actually is going to be going away tomorrow. So if anybody, is listening today and they happen to be a painter and they're looking for these products on Paint Line, you can get 20% off by putting PCA 20.
Oh boy.
On the promo code.
All right.
Tell them
Very
I'll
good.
pitch it. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. We'll hopefully be doing some advertising for him in the near future. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, very interesting. The whole lineup that they had at the expo was just incredible. So I mean, he was just one of the guys. So
Yeah, I mean, it just from the couple of videos that I saw, it was super cool to see that. I've been to expos with you guys before, and it's just nonstop. It's just person after person after person, trying to talk to them, explain what you have, explain your business, and so yeah, it's pretty interesting. But back in Dayton, Nick, while they were out, what's going on at the shop?
Business as usual, just with 2 less people.
Yeah.
We've got a good system down. So, and good people to help. And Kevin's son Corey, we moved him up into project manager this year, and he has made leaps and bounds as far as his ability to capture and manage jobs. And so, honestly, to anybody that's worked with a visionary with a million ideas a day, I actually get a little bit of a mental break. Even though the workload increases, I get laser focused. So I get to put my blinders on and head straight ahead and juggle the normal ins and outs. But no, things went well. I don't think, I think Kevin and Davonna would say that they came back to a fairly clean house. Didn't have any parties. No underage drinking, none of that craziness.
still Coronas in the Coke machine out there. So
yeah, well, it's life served to me. But anyhow, no, it was good. I was excited for us to be down there. I got little kids and family and baseball and cheerleading and all the things, and no, really couldn't miss that on the short preparation or notice of going down there, which now knowing what it is and our engagement with it, look to be down there next year just with some more planning. But no, business, continues up here and everything is good.
All right, that's good stuff. And speaking of Corey, we're gonna have to get him on the show one of these times, and let go some of that energy on the podcast. I think that'd be a great idea. Now, bringing him on with the Ohio Painting Company, obviously you don't start in a big position like he's in now. You said you moved him up quite a bit, but was that just an extra set of hands on painting walls, whether it be residential or commercial, when he first started?
Wow. Well, I mean, yeah, Kevin and Davonna could speak to that. Corey's been in paint and helping with paint since he was probably like 2.5 foot high. And now, you know,
Exactly.
now he's 6'1", 6'2". He can reach things that most of us can't without even a ladder.
Definitely.
But Corey is a workhorse and he's
Yeah.
enthusiastic and it's hard to even capture him in description, but positive force is basically boils it down, and so some of that is unbridled energy, and that's part of been our focus really with Corey, is getting him to take this and create focuses and disciplines, and just to be able to manage. You have to operate out of the gray and try to pull things into the black and white. So you can ground it out with customers and our guys. And yeah, we'll definitely have to bring Corey on. He's full of life and energy and fun, and customers love him, guys love him, we love him, and he's just doing fantastic. But yeah, it's been a long road though. He knows almost everything about paint. It's getting him to coach the guys properly without overwhelming them.
He got that from his mom, probably.
No, I don't think so. He did spend a good bit of time with Kevin in the car last year and doing things like that. And then with Nick also. And then he still shadows Nick on occasion where we're having pain points with the whole situation and so forth. So anyway, but he's doing a great job. So he's
That's
very
awesome.
personable. So he does funny things like when something goes wrong, he just sits down with the customer and goes, I've never had this happen before. So we'll just see where this goes. And it just wins them over, you know? So anyway, but that's a
Yeah,
long,
talked about that
yeah,
before.
possibly.
Well, yeah, I can't wait to get him on the show, and hopefully that'll be on one of our in-person recorded episodes that we have at the Ohio Painting Company. We've got 2 in the books, one being Shop Smitten. You can go back and check out that episode. It was fantastic. And then the episode that dropped, the episode actually just before this one, was in the shop at the Ohio Painting Company, and it was just too much fun to actually be able to do this, not on Zoom. But, you know, we use what we have since we're kind of a state apart from each other, and it works out pretty well. I'll tell you what, we need to get down to Orlando and check in with Paint Line. Now, these products, they help painters like Kevin, Nick, and Davonna essentially hang stuff up so it can dry properly, right?
Yeah, spray where you can spray it conveniently both sides without, just on one side of the like say the cabinet. Sometimes people use a turntable and like a little microwave thing, what spins around. But and they'll spray one side and then they'll let it hang on one of these cabinets or on one of these shelves.
Sure.
And that's a great way. Nothing wrong with that at all. But to if you've got production coming up, you want to be able to do both those sides at the same time and then just let them hang dry. It's acceptable to getting runs, if you don't put it on correctly. If you put too many mils, it's gonna build up and start forming, in the corners somewhere. So there's a learning process for sure. But it's actually the way we used to do it in the freezer. We hung, I think I told you that, on a ladder and some fish line and hooks, and that's how we did it.
But we had to, this is just, we have the space here, we utilize the space, maybe probably inefficiently. And but if you can imagine, you're setting up 24 doors and you're leaving 3 foot of space in between each one, and you have those in a line going back and forth, it takes up a huge amount of space. And it also doesn't allow you to see things in the proper light. This system forces it'll force the guys to be more efficient to where we can do this out in the field. Rather than taking over somebody's entire garage, we can set up a little small area, spray these doors out, have a filter and a system and everything, and be able to do it on site and also in our shop as well, and save space. It won't take up 2,000 square foot of space. We should now be able to take up maybe like 40 square foot of space.
Right.
So a lot of cool innovation there.
It was really cool to see the product in use at the trade show, not to just be watching that on TV, but actually have him demonstrate how that worked. And it was just so ironic that, we had left here, and we've got a huge tent set up back there with, 40 like Nick said, probably 40 doors in it, and it's taking up so much space. And then just what the guys have to do to even accommodate that. Once it's set up, it's fine. But like Nick said, it's easy for things to get missed. But to see that cool thing, it was like innovations of today are incredible, and how they can help the production of things like cabinet doors and regular man doors. So
Look, it also kind of lets you know that painting is no longer a gutter person service type offering.
Yeah.
It is a professionalized industry, and a lot of people alongside us aligned to lift it up and bring it up to where it should be. Yeah. So I mean that's exciting in itself.
Definitely. Well, let's get down to PCA from last week. Kevin and Davonna were shooting a little bit of video with the owner, founder, and head honcho inventor of Paint Line itself. Let's head to Orlando and speak with the owner and founder, and we'll be back.
Good design usually is simple. You know, if I think the more simple we can make things, the easier things are to put together, and more intuitive they are to put together, the better. That really comes from a background. We did a lot of point of purchase displays in our early days, and those were being sent out to retailers and put together by people that really had little interest in putting it together correctly. So we kind of learned, you know, how to make things hard to put together wrong and almost brains optional assembly. So that, I think, is very much a part of good design. We like to design products that work together, you know, that kind of supports the entire process. So people can choose just one aspect of it, like the drying part, but maybe to, you know, spraying, you know, before they dry, having things that are compatible in that way.
Right on.
Typically, those will kind of lead to, you know, it kind of leads you down a path that you maybe didn't start off on originally, but, you know, people want that kind of continuity in the process. That you know, we have a transport rack that helps you take a partially dried cabinet door from a job site or back to the workshop, or vice versa. That's just a natural step, you know, in the spraying and drying.
All right, so we're back here again, and we're just going to get a little demo on how this operation works.
Sure, I'll kind of take you through the whole thing, really. The process starts by attaching these bases to the bottom of an interior door. And those are done with wood screws that are supplied with the pin. Those wood screws just attach the door, and also attach a little V-clip on the side where the hinge pocket is. And at that point, the door can stand on its own, right? So I can put it outside of the booth, if you have a booth, and just stack them up, getting them ready to paint. When I'm ready to start painting, I'll pick up the door that I want to finish. You see these spikes? There you go. That goes on the spikes, and this slides in to make this contact. This contact keeps the door from falling. The door's not going to fall this way, it wants to fall this way. And this prevents that from happening. So now I'm in one position, I can spray all of the door, all the important edges. If I want to spray the top and the bottom, I would have done that when I attached, you know, the bases. Now I have a wet door that I need to remove. I do that by stabbing this here, getting that here, pulling this away, turning this clockwise, and now I have something I can comfortably lift and go put someplace out there. If I were in production, I would have poly tubing over this, so I'm not painting this fixture. It's been very well received. It's a new product for us. We're in our second production run, and no changes from the first, which is always a good sign.
That's a big plus, right?
Yeah.
Keeps the cost down, right?
Absolutely.
PCA in Orlando just last week. Kevin and Davonna were down there, and you know that question, Kevin, how awesome is that to walk in there, see those products, and ask him that simple question of, you know, this isn't an extremely elaborate product that you make. This is a rack you hang stuff on. You know, it's just it's awesome that companies can make stuff still that are so simplistic yet make such a big impact for contractors like you.
Right. He actually, you know, after they had figured out a couple of things, bought a, one of the products. It's, you know, it's been around a lot longer than they have. But it was in that same paint line, you know, line. That's pretty good use of words there. But yeah, so you know, to see him, you know, and where he's evolved and bringing this door in, you know, into play, you know, just from some cabinet doors, you know, come up with this system that turns this, you know, door around 360 so that you can spray it without going, you know, around it and making this big big conglomeration of overspray, you know, in this booth. You're just shooting it one way towards the vac system, you know, that takes it out of that little tent area. So it's very genius, you know, without a doubt. I just thought he was an incredible man. I just think he should probably use advertising with us though instead.
Why not? Why not? Hey, when he was showing off the product, I was like, okay, how does he get this thing off of that turntable? And
Right.
then sure enough, here come the handles and they just come right on the sides and he lifts it right up and then it goes elsewhere to dry. But, you know, they really thought of it all. No doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we used to try to, we'd leave an old hinge on, right? Like take the hinges off and put an old
Right.
one on. And then I'd take and try to grab that hinge and then the knob, you know, or stick my finger in that hole, you know, where the knob's not anymore, or in the front of it. So it was very cumbersome without a doubt. So to see that he's already got that all figured out, that was just genius. You know, he's got the little legs on the bottom where they screw into the door, and it could be even a hollow door. It doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't need a lot, but it's pretty genius for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and just to be able to create a product that can be used inside of what's already existing on the door, you know, the hole where the lock cylinder goes or something like that.
Right.
Too cool.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he just thought of it all. It was too good. So you said that you did order that product?
We did. We came home and ordered that product and the cabinet door. We've already got the racks, but I did buy another rack also. So yeah, we bought a few things.
Yeah, we're definitely going to need a little demo once you get that thing at the shop and get it set up.
Absolutely.
And what was a second ago? You put your hands in the air, a bunch of fireworks started coming up behind it. Did you see that on your computer screen?
No, it's this cool little thing though, and I could do this like thumbs up.
Oh wow!
That'll do
How
it.
about that?
You do
Okay,
just one thumb.
yeah, one thumb, you gets you a thumbs up. Okay,
Yeah.
see Zoom tricks that nobody.
Oh,
in
it works
the
for
world-
Kevin.
Yeah, I'm the master. I think there's a happy dance. What's this one? There's
Okay,
nothing there. So,
Yeah.
oh,
This is-
Pete. Piece
this
is
is
one.
turning
I thought it was.
into
Yep, there we go.
confetti piece.
Yep.
Okay, I hope all of our listeners are taking notes on the Zoom tricks that you can do.
I apologize if it's on. I was actually doing a Zoom with our granddaughter, and she loves it. So you know.
That's great. So you know, with products like this, it's incredible how they're able to be made and shoved out to folks just like you in the painting industry. And I'm glad that you guys got to go to PCA in Orlando.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah, that's the only spot in Florida I've ever been to that wasn't on the ocean, and it didn't feel like Florida. You know, it was just like, why would you come to Florida if you weren't going to come and visit the ocean on either side? But Orlando was fun. We went there for a radio show, and it is just like PCA, but for radio. Everybody's talking the jargon, you know, and you know we all have this similar thing that we all love, and it was something. It was a lot of fun, and I'm sure it was for you guys as well. So what else we got? You know, we had another interview.
I was so part of a focus of ours. We talked a lot about community involvement, and we really haven't sat down to talk about this. So the whole PCA event is a bunch of professionals to come together, elevate the industry, and you know, sharpen against each other, and then it ends in a large joint community project from everybody that attends down there. And that was on Friday, right? At the end of the
Yeah. I maybe Davonna will remember the name of it. As we're talking.
Yeah, it was at the Give the Kids the World Village in Orlando.
Okay, and then one of the it's a guy that's been around in the paint world for quite a while, and came up with Paint It Forward a few years back, and they've been going to this facility for the past 3 years anyway, and painting it, and it was amazing. I mean, you know, we had 100 painters in a office complex, and then a very large room, larger, well, about the size of our shop, if not bigger.
Around that size.
Yeah.
It was a multi-purpose room,
And
I think, yeah.
and multicolors. I mean, there's it's unbelievable what we did in 3 hours. So a multitude of offices, and then, all these colors in this one room, and it got done. I mean, cleaned up. I mean, we were done and out of there in 3 hours, with 100 painters. That's impressive. So.
Yeah. It sounds like a blast.
Oh,
and
so I'm sorry. So Nick is going with that. So, that's really neat. Oddly enough, while we were away, on our Friday, EOS meeting, our, L10, the subject came up to, what can we do in the community here? So, we will be putting something together that we are going to be, in some form of another, painting it forward. I'm sure we'll have to come up with another name unless, he's going to give us an extension of that. Maybe we can call it Taco Tuesday.
We actually can. We can sign up on the PCA site.
There you go. See, all the
and we'll
things I
get a-
don't listen to.
We'll get a kit and everything, and we'll paint it forward.
We get a
All
kid.
right,
Kit,
that's cool.
not a kid.
I
Not
was
a,
playing on the kid thing with the guard. Oh, never
Oh.
mind. I wasn't even on.
Orlando's pretty kid friendly. I get it all. It all
Very
works
much
together.
is.
yeah.
All right, Kevin Sillaman, Davonna Sillaman, Nick Goebel. Let's wrap things up here with maybe one more. I think, Kevin, we're gonna have to push off an interview because we're running out of time. But that wasn't the only person that you spoke to at PCA in Orlando. There was another younger gentleman that also joined you, and we did have a little bit of audio. Sorry about the audio if it was a little too intense for you. I did what I could. But this younger kid, what was he up to?
He just, him and his dad, they come together every year and think of another thing that they can invent. And the first one was, let's make the paint smell better. So you can put this in a 2-part epoxy, and epoxies smell very, very, I mean, they're just horrible.
Sure.
But needless to say, you can put this product in there and have it smell like lavender, or fresh mint. I don't know. I mean, but pretty cool stuff. Then that was their first product. Then they came together and again, just a regular product like a stripper is what his dad came up with. And he's like, really? We're going to, and I mean, strippers are out there already, And so anyway, they did. And it's, again, an environmentally friendly stripper that you can put on a
This is paint stripper, right?
multi,
Yeah.
not anything at a club. I'm sure that I'm just going to leave that alone.
All right. I'm still in my 30s. Sorry.
Yeah, so we'll let you go with that one, right?
And Nick might know what it is, but there's something because of constant regulations on the painting world and like oil paints and different ingredients, like things are being completely banned on the market, and it makes it hard because sometimes you need these industrial type things. So, but there's something in strippers that has been banned, and that was one of the reasons that him and his dad had talked about this, and then it being environmentally safe. So like you can literally spray this on the side of a large building, put plastic down to catch the debris, the paint shredding off, but you can then take a pressure washer and pressure wash that off, and the product can go into the grass or into the drains, and it's safe for the environment.
So pretty cool. Yeah, I mean they
you know what it is by
I
chance?
saw some type of
good.
some type of enzyme.
Yeah.
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 Biofriendly enzyme. But yeah, can't be paint thinner, can't be toluene, can't be xylene, can't be any of those. Those are all going away. Matter of fact, you can't buy denatured alcohol in the state of Ohio anymore, which is crazy to me. So
Still get nail polish remover.
so isopropyl, you can still get acetone. You can still buy stuff that's close to rocket fuel, but you can't get these things. So anyhow, you need to use alcohol, which cleans up acrylic messes the best after they've hardened. You can substitute for isopropyl alcohol, and you can get those at drugstores. You just have to buy them in little plastic containers.
With a bag of cotton balls too.
Or Q-tips.
Yeah. Exactly.
Get that little bit.
Stuff, folks, that you probably never thought of is on the brains of these folks every single day. And when you fill them up in a room in a convention center in Orlando, it makes for a lot of confusing things that you were talking about. I don't know about any bans on this and that for certain products in the state of Ohio. Are you allowed to use it in Ohio? Just not buy it?
Just until it's gone.
Just until it's gone. And then you know what?
Okay.
We don't really complain about it. We try to work through it. Sometimes it does sound like complaining, but it's literally your back's against the wall and you trying to work through it. However, it's like any scenario. If you tighten the reins and you restrict the mobility and create a bottleneck, it forces directional thought and evolution. And so all these restrictions they're all headaches, but it's leading to a superior product and a more environmentally friendly product. So, the short-term inconvenience really does serve the long-term longevity of the planet and our lives and everything
Right
else.
on.
So,
And we're about the environmentally friendly. I mean, it's definitely a good thing. The inventor of of that paint stripper, I'm gonna make sure I put paint in front of that for you from now on, but in front of, with that paint stripper is that it does work, and that's amazing because I mean, there are environmentally friendly strippers paint strippers
we've
out there
used them, they're junk.
that are just wretched. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And they're expensive as anything. So anyway, really good to have a, inventive mindset, like this particular father and son have.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you what, information on stuff that you may not have even known you wanted information about when it comes down to painting and other products that these fine folks use. I'll put paint strippers on the screen every time you said it, because Davonna probably had 6 or 7 back there that we're gonna have to specify with. So bear with us on that, guys. Great episode.
Bear with us.
Thank you so much for coming back on. Kevin Sillaman, Davonna Sillaman, and Nick Goebel are the founders, the owners, the head honchos at the Ohio Painting Company in Dayton. I want to thank you both, for all 3 of you, as a matter of fact, for coming on, and we'll talk next week.
That's right.
All right. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Brad.